Hello, I'm Gino. Welcome to Dazzle TV. Dazzle and I we're back in Camellia, Aklan from our trip from Dumaguete. So we got back yesterday afternoon and we got Bumblebee back at our house. So we plan on spending more time now back at Camellia Homes Resto Bar. We're gonna let our partner Dustin run the show. He pretty much is doing a great job at the Resto Bar, so we're gonna step away a little bit after the last 3 months. Dazzle and I've been working hard at the Resto Bar, so we figure we get back to our life before, our retired life here in Camellia Clan. So we'll start doing more of the videos that we used to do before, like cost of living here in our area, but we'll still hit the Resto Bar, maybe a lot less, maybe once or twice a month. A viewer had asked me, his name is Russell Swats. He wanted me to do a pros and cons about Dumaguete as far as a retirement destination. So I'm just gonna walk over to the Pudding Cafe this morning and give you my pros and cons about Dumaguete. Dazzle and I, we had a great time in Dumaguete. Had an awesome time with Carrie, our Canadian friend, you know, taking him from Katiklan, Aklan, all the way to Dumaguete. It was a fun ride, a lot of scenic views that we saw. Amazing time, very memorable for Dazzle and I. The pros as far as Dumaguete, I think, is there's a lot of expats in Dumaguete. You know, that's one thing Dazzle and I noticed. And when we were at the boulevard by the seawall, they had plenty of restaurants that cater to Americans and Westerners. So that's a plus. There's like a Starbucks. There's like bars in that area where you could see expats just drinking beer, shooting pool, and for single guys, I think that's very important because that's one thing my friends that told me that have moved to Boracay Island is that Boracay Island is mostly for couples. You know, it's harder for expats to meet single women in Boracay. So now I know that because it's been 10 years since I've been single, so I really didn't know that that's how it was in Boracay now, because back 11 years ago when I was single in Boracay was a party town, so there was just a lot of people that you would meet. There was a lot of single women that you would meet. So for single guys, I can see how that is a big plus going to Dumaguete, because Dazzle and I, we did see there were a lot of ladies at the boulevard and even in the bar areas, you know, the workers, there were women frequenting the bars. So a definite plus for single guys. And then the food scene, the restaurant, I mean, they got like Italian food, you name it. You know, they really cater to Americans. You can tell that you will not miss any American food while you are in Dumaguete, like steaks, you know, probably Australian steaks and things like that. You won't miss that. But I do feel like if you are gonna stay in Dumaguete, especially Dumaguete City, you're gonna need a form of transportation. Like our friend Carrie, he bought a motorbike right away, a brand new Yamaha 125cc motorbike, and he paid 52,000 pesos, so about $900 for a brand new motorbike. So that way you can get around, because if you are going to rely on public transportation in Dumaguete, which they have plenty, you know, it's still a challenge, because if you've seen the tricycles here in the Philippines, they're not built for American men, especially because American guys, American guys tends to be large individuals, and these tricycles, you got to crouch down, you bang your head trying to get in and out. So I think a motorbike is a must. That would help you out, you know, adjusting to life in Dumaguete. Actually, a friend of mine, Robbie from Rhode Island, he had mentioned a YouTuber to me. Mike's Philippines Retirement is his YouTube channel, and I actually we messaged each other, but Dazzle and I, we were already in Bacolod by the time Mike had messaged me. Too bad, because it would have been really nice to have met him, and because watching his videos, I could tell he's really a good guy, really humble, and he does a lot of videos about the cost of living in Dumaguete City, and the surrounding town, you know, outside of Dumaguete. He also has apartments in there that he's already reviewed, so you might want to check out his channel. Again, his channel is Mike's Philippines Retirement, and he's got a partner that he met, you know, so it's nice to see that he's doing well for himself. And he's got apartments in there. I know Dazzle and I, before, we had thought about visiting Dumaguete when the pandemic first started. We were thinking of doing 30 days in Dumaguete, and when we researched at the time, Dazzle and I were actually looking at the area of Bacong, which is just south of Dumaguete City. And the reason was, at the time, there was a resort there that Dazzle and I was looking at. He had a swimming pool right on the beach, and at the time, a one-bedroom, fully furnished, was 10,000 pesos. So less than $200 to stay for a month. So we were actually planning on doing that. Then the pandemic hit. So, but those areas are still available, because I saw it on Mike's vlogs. So you can check that out. Another thing would be the ferry from Dumaguete. There's a ferry that can ferry you over to Cebu. So if you have a motorbike and you're adventurous enough, you can ride the ferry, get to Cebu, and then that just opens up a whole new area for you to travel, you know, if that's something you want to do. So to me, that's a pro, being able to travel and enjoy the different islands near Dumaguete. Your also neighbor islands are Siquijor Island, you got Cebu again, and Bohol. So there's plenty of areas that you can visit. And then the last thing I noticed, the cost of living, it's good. It's about the same as here in Aklan province. So that was good. And actually the gas was actually cheaper, because the gas, I was able to buy 66 to 68 pesos a liter when I was in Dumaguete, whereas here in Aklan we're paying over 70. So gas is actually cheaper. So I'm almost at the Pudding Cafe. I'll take my order at the Pudding Cafe, and I'll go over the cons. I made it here to the Pudding Cafe, and I ordered my regular latte. Jack knows all about my latte. I'm like a latte dude. And I ordered a bacon agahan. Bacon agahan is like, comes with bacon, sunny side up egg, and fried garlic rice. So that's what I ordered. And my normal bill here is about 165 pesos for breakfast here. So it's about $3 for my breakfast with a nice latte, a really good coffee too. I'm gonna continue now with my now I'm gonna discuss the cons that I saw as far as living in Dumaguete City. So it's not all pros, you know. I try to be you know, let you know how it is, you know. It's like I'm not trying to like make Dumaguete like the perfect place to live. There really isn't no perfect place to live, you know. It's like you always gotta weigh the good and the bad. The cons, the traffic. I mean, in Dumaguete City, traffic was pretty bad. You know, it's like you know, I'm not used to driving in the city anymore. Very rare do I get to drive in the city. Maybe Rojas City and Iloilo. But the one thing I noticed about the streets in Dumaguete City, they're small. you can barely fit two cars in a lot of the main streets that they have. And then people park on both sides. So there was actually areas where you can only fit one car. So I'm like trying to figure out, okay, who's gonna go first, or is it? And then another thing was a lot of one-way roads. You know, it's like the streets were like, it's like one way here, one way there. I guess they're trying to do that, you know, to combat traffic. But the problem with that is, like, for somebody like me, I've never been in Dumaguete City. I have to rely on Google Maps. And if you know anything about Google Maps, it's gonna take you to like the shortest route anywhere. So that was really a challenge. That was really a challenge to drive around Dumaguete City for the first time, and trying to maneuver Google Maps, because it would Google Maps would take us straight onto a one-way street, and then we had to decide whether to make a left, right. So we're circling around Dumaguete City until I figured out, you know, all the one-way streets and all that, and then we just decided it was better just to park our car in the boulevard and just walk, you know. But to get around, you know, the traffic was pretty bad, and lots of motorbikes. And the motorbikes are really aggressive, you know, from what I'm used to. I mean, even in Calibo, you know, you gotta watch out. You know, I'm a super defensive driver. I take my time, and I always give way to the motorbikes. But I hadn't seen anything like that, where, I mean, motorbikes are just zooming, like from the left, from the right, cutting. You know, it's like at one point I was at a light, and I was surrounded by at least 10 motorbikes, and they're just like flying, you know. So you really have to watch your driving when you're on the streets. You know, you got to check your mirrors, and even at that, you know, like the motorbikes were just coming from everywhere. So just a warning, the traffic is definitely challenging in Dumaguete City. The other thing I would be concerned in Dumaguete City, I would probably be, that's why when we were looking at for security, that would probably be my concern, because like with any city here in the Philippines, security would be an issue. It's just the way it is, you know. Anytime you're in a city, there's gonna be more crime. I hadn't heard anything as far as crime in Dumaguete City, but I did notice, like, the complexes, you know, they have higher fences, they got the barbed wire, they got the broken bottles. I mean, they're protecting, and that's, you know, that's understandable. This is a third world country, and anytime you're in a city here, you're gonna have that. You're gonna have you have to protect your property. Like me, when we were in our car, when we still had our backpacks, we would never leave our backpacks in the car, even though the car's locked and alarmed. I would never leave it, you know, if I'm in a city. We're always carrying our backpacks. You know, same thing when we were in Bacolod City. You know, I just don't feel safe leaving my things inside the car. That's why if I would go to live in Dumaguete City, I would prefer living like on the outskirts, like Valencia. I heard is really nice, you know, up in the, you know, cooler weather in Dumaguete, and in Bacong and Dawin, where the coastal, where you would experience the beach. When we were looking at Bacong before, we selected the resort, the Dazzle, and why I wanted to stay for 30 days, because it was populated. There was several cabins, so it was a nice big resort. So we knew we would have felt safe living there, because there would be more people. I would not feel safe, just me, you know, it's just me, if I had to live like away from people. Because you can rent, you know, from watching some of the YouTube videos, you can rent like at Valencia, or you can rent in Bacong. You can rent apartments for $200, less than about 10,000 pesos, but you're away from people. So that would just be a concern with me, just because you know, anywhere you go in the world, there's always gonna be a bad element. That's why we live at Camellia Homes. We're a gated community. We got security guards, and this is still the Philippines. I know, you know, it's like people say, oh, you're you're paranoid, you know, it's like nobody's gonna attack you in your house, but still, you just never know. I was, you know, my job when I was in the military, I was medical readiness. I used to teach a class on force protection. So I just know that this is still a third world country, the Philippines. There's still, you know, there's still crime here, you know, and then if you isolate yourself in away from people, because you know, you want to be away from people, there's a danger factor that's gonna come to effect. You'll probably need to have like big dogs with you to protect yourself, because here in the Philippines, as an expat, you can't own a gun. So that's another thing. It's not like you can protect yourself, or you can't even carry a big knife here. If you're caught carrying a big knife at the mall or on the street, you can get in trouble here in the Philippines for doing that. So just something to consider. You know, like I said, I'm not trying to be paranoid. And the last thing that I just want to point out with Dumaguete City, if you do decide to stay, this would be another con in Dumaguete City, the prices will be a little higher as far as the rentals. Like Carrie's apartment rental, it has a nice pool, nice complex, pretty secure complex. I would feel safe where we stayed with Carrie. It was 21,000 pesos a month, so about $350. So that's a lot more than the $200 that you can get at Valencia or Bacong for the same room, like a one bedroom. So that's to consider. And then also in Dumaguete City, by the seawall or the beach, it's really not swimmable, because Dumaguete is a city, so if you can imagine, all that sewage is, you know, it goes to the ocean. It goes to that seafront. So, you know, it's not a beach where you can be swimming. So that would be another thing. Like for me, you know, Dazzle and I, we just love, you know, clean beaches, you know, relaxing, walking on the beach. And that would not be something that Dumaguete City would have. You would, again, have to go further down, like Bacong or Darwin, to experience. Or before Dumaguete City, there was a couple of towns that we saw after Baez City. Between Baez City and Dumaguete City, there were some beaches there where you can enjoy the beach. So that's to consider. But again, you know, if you're in Dumaguete City, a lot of the complexes have swimming pools. So, you know, you need that here in the Philippines during the summer, because it gets pretty warm here in the summer. So a swimming pool in a beach is really a big help. So that's my pros and cons regarding Dumaguete City. I mean, Dazzle and I had a good time. You know, we you know, it's like recommend going to Dumaguete City. You know, it's like it's a fun place. Happy that we got to see it. You know, check off on one of our bucket. I got my breakfast here at the Pudding Cafe. This is called the bacon agahan. This comes with bacon, egg, and garlic fried rice. And here's my regular latte that I always get here. Delicious coffee here at the Pudding Cafe in front of Camellia Homes Aklan in Numancia, Aklan, Philippines. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Gino.
And I'm Dazzle.
We just started our channel, so if you enjoyed watching the video,
Please grow with us and hit the subscribe button and thumbs up.
and we are going to keep making videos of our life in Aklan Province,
Philippines.